from the city of Plains, Georgia. The mayor. No.
No.
A better hometown person, Miss Ruth Sanders. Ruth, thank you very much. It's been a while. And she brought along Brother Jeff Moss.
Yes,
Jeff,
sir. Good day.
thank you for being here. Used to live in the Plains.
That's correct. I grew up there.
Where do you live now, Jeff?
I live up in Forsyth, Georgia, north of Macon.
Up there around, yeah, okay, I know where Forsyth is. Trying to think of the name of the county.
Monroe.
Monroe
County.
Okay. You know where Smart, Georgia is?
I do.
All right, we got a guy here, Rick Smart, works for us, and it's named for his family. They still have relatives up there. This Saturday.
This Saturday.
Are we ready?
We're ready. We're getting there. We'll be ready Saturday. How about that?
You pull out a lot for this, don't you, Ruth?
Yeah, I do. We really do this year. We have got, I mean, this is our biggest event always, but this year we have really got.
The president got inaugurated. That was.
Well, that was pretty. That was pretty.
Yeah,
that was a little bit bigger.
Okay.
That was a little bit bigger deal.
But since then, this is it.
Since then, this is it. Yeah. Since then, this is it. In the last few years, this is it anyway. But we got a lot of new things. Jeff is bringing the helicopters, which we'll have helicopter rides. We'll let him talk about that. We've got a chainsaw artist coming this year who's making us a big 4-foot peanut, and that he will leave in Plains for us.
Okay.
And of course he'll be demonstrating his trade. So I'm really excited. I have watched him, and it's fascinating to watch him. So we're excited about that. Lots of new vendors. I feel like we've gotten more arts and craft vendors and different things than we've had in the past. And we've got Sam Shortline coming in, of course, for the parade. We've got the Army Band coming for the parade.
From over at Fort Benning?
At Fort Benning.
Yes.
Love them.
I'm an Army guy.
They do so great. And so we're always, they come, and so, of course, President Carter will be doing his book signing, and Miss Roseland will be doing hers at 1:30. He'll be at the Billy Carter. She'll be downtown, or she'll be at the inn on Main Street. And that evening, we have the Swinging Medallions coming to town.
Oh, double shot on
there
my
you go.
babies.
That was their
That was it.
Yeah.
So we're real excited. That's the first big name brand, and ticket sales are going great for that. That one thing you do have to have tickets for.
Okay, so everything else.
Everything else is come and pay your vendors and buy something and eat something. And of course, Jeff has to charge something for his rides, but. You know, it's just a fun day. And the big exciting things.
Is that with the medallions?
That is with the dance, the street dance, right there on Main Street on Saturday. That's
with the swinging medallion.
With the swinging medallion. So, you know what? The biggest highlight this week is, yes, the weather looks good.
This is some video from Plains.
That's right.
Oh, we got pretty girls.
We got lots of queens.
And of course.
And the road was at 8 that morning.
There's President Miss Carter. Is he going to give out the race?
He is. Well, he will be on the depot.
I think some people come and run, hoping they'll get an award so they can get the picture.
Sure they do, because and it's divided up between female and males and every age group from little bitty up to old. So there are a lot of awards to be given out.
Why did you look at me when you said old?
I didn't look at you when I said old. Because I'm hanging there with you.
Do we do anything on Friday night?
We're not. We have for the sponsors that we're doing just for our big peanut. Yes, thanking them for our big. We have the pavilion in the back or at the community center.
Right.
They totally set that up and do. They're giving away peanut butter and grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And
Tyrone Spearman's back there.
Tyrone will be back there, and then Tyrone heads up our parade, and he does all the announcing, emceeing for the parade. So we love Tyrone in Plains.
All right. Now Jeff Moss is going to be there flying his helicopter.
Right.
Jeff, is it tethered or does it take off? You going to do
No, it's a real deal, and I brought a model. I don't want to make sure folks can see this. I actually flew this aircraft in Desert Storm. This is America's first.
Let me salute you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Because I was private, and I knew you probably outranked me there.
Maybe just a little bit, but this is the AH-1 Cobra, and this was America's first dedicated attack helicopter.
And you've got one of them?
We've got a lot of them. We're going to bring one down to Plains, and we're also bringing a Huey. And as you know, the Huey was the icon of the Vietnam War.
Absolutely.
So we can carry 10 passengers at a time on the Huey, and we can carry 1 passenger in the Cobra. But you get we run a real mission. So somebody wants to get in the Cobra and go flying with me, we're going to do a simulated combat mission with them in the gunner co-pilot seat. Well, we simulate that. You have to bring a little bit of imagination to the game.
Do me a favor, don't blow up.
No, we won't be doing any of that. But.
Now, you've got all these helicopters. are you, this is a company that you
No,
have?
no, we're actually a veteranization, a flying museum located in Hampton, Georgia at Terra Field, right by Atlanta Motor Speedway. So it's a flying museum, and the way we see things, you can either see America's history on a stick like this, or you can keep them flying. So our motto is to keep these authentic warbirds in the air.
So you got a Huey.
A Huey and a Cobra.
You rode on one of those, I promise you. Oh, and you got a couple of these?
We've got about a half dozen Cobras, and we've got 4 Hueys. We're going to bring one of each down to Plains for the event.
How do you get parts for them? You cannibalize others?
Well, no. For a lot of the parts, we were able to get government surplus. So we are a not-for-profit Veterans Foundation, and all the proceeds, by the way, that when people make a donation to take a ride, and we do have minimum donation requirements, every bit of that money goes back into the aircraft. So with the Hueys, we're at a point where we're having to buy parts for the Huey. We still have a lot of government surplus parts for the Cobras. So what we do is a labor of love, and we love sharing these aircraft with people. Fun.
Colonel Moss?
I was a captain.
Captain Moss,
That's
right. What's the name of your organization, sir?
Army Aviation Heritage Foundation.
Army Aviation Heritage Foundation at Hampton, Georgia.
Hampton, Georgia. ArmyAV.org on the internet if somebody wants to take a look. AV. ArmyAV.org.
Are you available to come? You come to play, but can you? People have an event?
Absolutely.
Possibility to get you guys down?
They can, as long as there's a sufficient crowd that we feel that we can cover the expenses and then put a little bit in the bank. Aircraft flying. They can go to our website or reach out to Rick Welch at our hangar. The number there is 770-897-0444. If they want to book an event with us, we love taking the aircraft out to the public.
Yeah, I'm going to book you when we all get off the air.
Absolutely. Sounds like fun.
Now, you said minimum donation.
Right.
What's the minimum? Because we got some kids that want to ride. Yeah.
Well, to go in the Huey, I mean, a seat's a seat. So we can take, as long as the seat belt will secure a child in, we usually use a rule of thumb of 5 years old, 4, but it really is about the size of the kid, and we want to make sure they secure in. The minimum donation for most people, and we do discount active duty and veterans, is $60 for the Huey. It's about an 8 to 10 minute ride. Now to go in the Cobra, there's 1 seat. So we can put 10 passengers on the Huey.
But 1 is here.
1 in here. So this is a more expensive donation, but this is a bucket list ride. Anybody that wants to go for a ride in an attack helicopter, we do $275 donation for about an 8-minute ride in the Cobra.
Wow.
But it's a lot going on in 8 minutes.
Well, you can go to Hunter Air Force Base, Army Air Base.
Right.
Join the Army and you get to ride in front.
That's about the only other way. That's about it. I did bring my helmet in too, if you want to talk a little bit about this.
Yes.
This was the helmet I used in Desert Storm.
On here?
So if you think about the modern attack helicopters, the Apache, you're thinking about a Windows-based operating system versus DOS. So the Cobra 60 technology, America's first dedicated attack helicopter. This was actually my sighting device. And what happened with it, if I can turn this here just a little bit, this 20-millimeter cannon on the front, lost my mind.
Pop
can you
back
still
in
hear?
There, if you will, Randy.
Sure. There we go.
Okay.
The 20-millimeter cannon on the front, there's a rail that ran right up in here, and I would actually attach that to my helmet here. So wherever I turn my head, that 20-millimeter gun would follow my head. Yeah, it'd follow wherever I look. It's a Gatling gun, and the rounds on it were about that long, but they were high explosive, titanium tip, armor piercing.
And you got the rockets.
Tow missiles and 2.75-inch rockets. So the tow missils it stands for tube launched, optically tracked, wire guided missile.
Now you've got replicas of these that are not armed, but you have, so it's going to look authentic. Right?
Absolutely. And it's a real aircraft. It's been demilled, which means, none of the weapon systems work. But take people for a ride in the aircraft, we actually walk them through a scenario. And I usually go with the Vietnam, start with the Vietnam era. Troops pinned down, we're coming in to do close air support. Then we go into the Cold War and into Desert Storm, the war I fought in, and we get focused more on killing tanks and basically eliminating armored vehicles. So that's when you get into the tows.
We've all watched MASH.
Sure.
Is that the first really major use of helicopters? Near the end of WW2 they were flying, but Korea was probably the first major use.
I agree.
With primarily for evacuation of wounded.
Correct, for medevac, and the Huey was well known for that in Vietnam. So, the Huey, took people in. It actually carried.
Go ahead. You jump out, you got a firefight.
That's it. And then the one with the Red Cross, came
Sure.
in. Huey saved lots of lives, and what we have found, especially with the Huey and to a lesser degree the Cobra, is the healing effect as Vietnam veterans come out with their families and they want to go,
gosh.
they want to take their family for a ride in that aircraft that
This one
saved
Hanny
their
rode in.
Absolutely. And it really is not only a piece of American history, but it is really such a moment of healing for these folks.
Captain Moss, where will you guys be located in plane? Maybe
Okay.
Ruth can help us put in.
Yeah, when you're coming in from Americas on 280, you know where the Lillian Carter is?
Yes.
On Hospital Street. They'll be right beside almost in
Lillian Carter
the big
Nursing
field by the
Facility.
by the
Okay.
Lillian Carter. We've got a big sign up that tells you where the helicopter rides are and how to get in there.
You
and
guys will be busy. You're
Well,
going
I
to
hope
be
so.
busy. I can just
I
tell you
hope
right
so.
now, and all you guys who went to Nam, this is a great opportunity.
It is.
Bring your family, let them see what Dad flew in,
Yeah.
and take them up, let them experience that. That's gonna-
Absolutely.
I think you're going to have a lot of Nam vets who are going to show up that day.
We always do. It's always the veterans that touch me the most, and I was sharing with Ruth some of the stories of things I personally have experienced, but you've got, a veteran in a wheelchair with their family there, and they will tell you the last time I rode in a Huey, I was laying down, but this time I'm going to be sitting up. I've got my family, and, the family wouldn't be there had that Huey not pulled that guy out of that
Absolutely.
firefight. So,
I've got a member of my church who did the very same thing.
Yeah.
And last time he flew on one, he's probably watching, he was lying down when he flew out.
absolutely.
But he's walking around now. Thank you. He's walking around. What was Desert Storm like for you guys? Now, was the desert, the sand, was that an issue in maintaining these copters and sand getting into some of the rotors or the motors and stuff?
Absolutely. We, with our Black Hawk copters, which were modern, the funny thing, we had 3 Hueys that we took, and the rest I had 26 Black Hawks, which were the
Okay.
modern aircraft. The Hueys went in, we had very little maintenance on them. They came home just like they went.
Yeah.
The Black Hawks, on the other
High
hand,
tech.
high tech. You had sand getting into computer component, motherboards and all those kinds of things. We changed every single engine out at least once. We changed out every single auxiliary power unit at least once in all those Black Hawks. It was real powder in Saudi Arabia and Iraq, and that powdery sand gets into those engine components and rotor systems, and it just destroys them.
Okay. What was the enemy there? Did they have their technology? Did it allow them to attack our copters?
Not to a large degree, because as you recall, the air war had really
Yeah.
diminished their capability. And by the time we rolled in, I was with the 3rd ACR out of Fort Bliss, Texas, so we had been flying in the desert a lot, had a lot of experience. But we were part of that Hail Mary coming in from the west.
Right.
And we actually got into position to really get engaged and get in the fight. The ceasefire had been called. So we had 26 of this aircraft, 26 Cobras there. Had 3 of them actually actively engage the enemy. So that, the odds of firing a shot, I've told my child, I feel lucky. I did fly in combat, but I never had to pull a trigger. I never had to be on the sending end of a round that took somebody out. I'm glad of that. I know that in Afghanistan that isn't the situation now. So it was a very different war for
Are
us.
you guys going to be able to talk to people too, other than just
Absolutely.
fly them? Like as we're talking today, we'd be able to give them some background
Sure.
and information.
We brief them when they come in to take a ride in the Huey or the Cobra. We give them a safety briefing. We talk to them about the aircraft, and all of the aircraft we have are historically significant. Every one of them has touched combat, either in Desert
Wow.
Storm, in Vietnam, you name it, and the history.
You're standing on holy ground with these things.
You are, and we've got one Cobra that was shot down twice in Vietnam. Won't be the one I'm bringing to planes, but it was shot down twice in Vietnam, and we have found through the historical records the pilot that was killed when the aircraft was shot down. And what we'd like to do is we reach out and touch those families when we have, the aircraft was rebuilt, sent back into Vietnam, it went down again, it was rebuilt, returned to the Army inventory. And so when we got it, it looked like this, only green. but it was intact. So when you go through the history and you start doing research, the internet's been wonderful for that, the military historical records, you start finding out, that somebody lost their life in this aircraft. So you are crawling into a hallowed space when you go into that front seat.
Absolutely.
And they died fighting for our country. So
Absolutely.
we bring a lot of history to life, and we tell people the stories, but when they get in the Cobra with me, now the Huey, they get in and they're in the back and they can't really talk to the pilots, but in the Cobra, we're wired, they're talking to me, and as I'm doing all the maneuvering flight and I'm talking about the mission, we're having a two-way conversation, how this aircraft was used.
It is a once-in-a-lifetime
It is.
opportunity, and the only place you're going to be able to do it this weekend is in Plains, Georgia.
Right.
How'd you pull this off, Ruth?
I'm just good.
City Council?
Not really.
City Council, she needs a raise.
Yeah, she
This woman is unbelievable.
No, it really wasn't me. It's Jeff's connection to planes and wanting to come home, and
Right.
his dad was the bigger benefactor of that, not me. But I'll take it.
Absolutely.
I'll take it.
We were talking about planes. With, like you said, being from a small town, 600 feet, I am the only person to my knowledge from Plains, Georgia that participated in Operation Desert Storm.
Okay.
When that's going on and you've got a whole hometown behind you, they had flags up and down the street, and on the bank sign when I came home it said Jeff Moss is coming home. You don't see that in Macon,
No, you
Georgia or Atlanta, Georgia. That's what you see in Plains. So coming home in the aircraft I flew in combat is a thrill for me.
And I have a retired sergeant major in my church who was in Desert Storm.
Is that-
Absolutely.
And that's in Ideal, Georgia, right?
Well, this is my church here.
Yeah.
And remember, sergeant majors outrank everybody.
They do. Without
They
a
do.
doubt.
I'll tell you, Ruth, they do.
Without a doubt.
They're the backbone of the Army. You don't want to miss this. That's this Saturday in Plains, Georgia, with the Lady College Nursing Center. They're going to be right across the road from it, and you'll see the sign, you'll see the copter there, and it's a great, great opportunity. Stick around throughout the evening, swinging medallions
That's
that
right.
night. See,
We're excited.
My first dance is with Ruth.
That's right.
At that dance card,
She'll
I'm
be
all,
tired.
I'm all over it, but I can do it. You get there, and we'll do it.
All right.
right.
Sam Shortline's going to be going. You can ride Sam
That's
Shortline.
right. You can ride
today.
Sam
You don't have to
Shortline. It
drive.
gets in just in time for the parade.
Plenty of
And you've
food.
got time to go to the bookstore. Plenty of food. All the restaurants in town, all three of the restaurants in town will be open. And
There'll be
plus,
some
we've got
food
lots of
vendors.
vendors too. Lots of food, lots of good food.
Peanuts.
Peanuts, you
Gator
name
tail.
it. We've got it, huh?
Gator tail.
I think we do.
I think you do too. Did last time.
We do. I think he's coming
And I
back.
think it's fair.
I
There's
think
two
he's
ways to
coming
meet
back.
President Carter. Win the road race or go to Sunday school.
There
That's
you go.
right.
That's it.
That's right.
Well, you
Sunday
do
morning
both.
he will be teaching,
All right.
and of course the book signing you will get
What
an
time does
opportunity.
everything get cranked up? The road races.
Road races at 8.
8, okay.
President Carter gets there 8 and 8:30 because they do the 1 mile and then the 5K.
Peanuts. Woo.
I know.
You can,
It's a lot of fun.
yeah, you can sign up for the road race that morning if you
Yes,
want to.
you
Just
can.
sign up.
Yes, you
You
can.
get a T-shirt, and
Yes, you
get,
do.
if you win something, President Carter will present.
We'll give out the awards.
All right.
It's a fun day.
It will be. Saturday in Plains. Ruth Sanders, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Captain Jeff Moss.
Yes, sir.
God bless
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Same here.
For being here. Come and ride with him in history this weekend in Plains. Don't go away. We will take a break. We will be back in just a moment. The day will continue right after the back.
In historic Plains, Georgia, neighbor, the 2013 Plains Peanut Festival. Now come join the fun. Hey, we got a 1 mile fun run, 5K road race, arts and crafts all day long, President and Mrs. Jimmy Carter's book signings, entertainment galore, helicopter rides, and much more. Now this Saturday night, our street dance featuring the Swinging Medallions. Tickets are $25 to be bought at the Plains Inn, Buffalo Cafe Plains, Plains Better Hometown. In America, see the Maze, Minnick Interiors, and the America's Welcome Center. Bring your lawn chair, bring the family, and enjoy all the great fun this weekend. Don't miss it this Saturday, neighbor. The Plains Peanut Festival in historic Plains, Georgia. It just don't get no better than this.